This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Jack Threads. Today on TRS, Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford team up with Jon Favreau in Cowboys and Aliens.
And welcome to the Totally Rad Show. We have a great week. Today we are finally going to be talking about the much anticipated movie Cowboys and Aliens.
Then tomorrow we've got the Media Mashup we promised you last week, but we bumped it into this week because we had so much awesome Comic-Con coverage.
Correct.
Hope you enjoyed that. But we'll have that game for you on Tuesday.
And then on Wednesday, these guys are going to be reviewing a game I wish I was around to play. Alas, I am away.
Where are you, Dan?
I rhymed.
Tell the folks where are you?
I'm in Berlin, or actually at this point I may be transitioning to London.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Super trip happening for
Business
Dan
trip, not fun trip.
but it will be fun.
But it will be fun.
There you go. Thursday.
You mix business with pleasure,
Yeah,
clearly.
baby.
Yes.
So Thursday, we will be coming back around to On My Radar. Tell you what's been on our radars.
Friday, of course, we're versusing it up. We're really working hard trying to compile our list of the best movies ever. So versus is how we do it.
Yeah, I think we might go back and start refining this week and see what we get out of that.
Like an oar.
Like an oar. Amazing background.
Really cool. Western themed, of course, we got Cowboys and Aliens this week, so we went with a little bit of Western themed. Carmen Barrientos sent this in a while back, and we've been hanging on to it for a Western. Thank you, Carmen. His brother Hector has sent in things before. Yeah. If you want to send in your background and get it on our show, you can download our logo at our Flickr page, flickr.com/TotallyRadShow, and then send it in to fans at Totally Rad Show.
But we want them to send in more than just this background.
Yes.
We want to then submit backgrounds for us for all of our segments, or
yeah,
movie
we're
reviews,
kind
or
of putting a
video game
little
reviews.
spit and polish on the show. We've been doing so many new segments
that
a lot of them don't have backgrounds that tie into sort of our old background thematicness. So we thought, why don't we just have people submit what they think would be a cool background for those specific segments?
So all the segments you like, come up with a cool background.
Yeah, those backgrounds don't need to have our logo. The backgrounds at the top of the show do have our logo.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
Amazing. Also, just wanted to say, happy birthday, Jeff Cannata! It's birthday week! It's birthday week! La 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 la. What are you're gonna be what, 21? 21, so now you can finally drink.
Finally.
Amazing.
Very
We
excited.
of course, in classic Totally Rad Show style, we have a present for Jeff Cannata. However,
Being constructed as we speak.
it like a Constructicon
I'm scared.
needs to be built. So
Is
you
it a
have-
house?
You know how that goes.
Yeah,
so.
slowly but surely nailing one nail in. So happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
And it's going to be sort of like birthday, however long it takes. So you will be receiving more birthday joyness somewhere along the line.
I'm excited.
Amazing. All right, let's get into it. Whoop. Today in movies, we are going to be talking about the new movie Cowboys and Aliens by Iron Man director Jon Favreau. But the really weird thing is we're going to be reviewing a movie without Dan.
It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. It feels weird for me to say, today in movies, we're going to be talking about Cowboys and Aliens.
We thought we'd just hang out outside in the beautiful, that's one of the last big summer movies, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
couple more.
little more summer left, but of the big,
Yeah.
Comic-Con anticipated movies, Cowboys and Aliens, which of course stars Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, which is huge. It was the first time he ever came to Comic-Con was for Cowboys and Aliens.
That's
right. Which I think was last year? Mm-hmm. Last year, yeah. Big event. Olivia Wilde, Sam Rockwell, Clancy Brown, Paul Dano. Who was Paul Dano in it, by the way?
The son. Harrison
Oh,
Ford's
yeah,
son.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Walton Goggins for a hot second.
Walton Goggins!
So Cowboys and Aliens follows the clear story of cowboys fighting aliens.
It's all there in the title.
In the title, literally, is the synopsis of the movie, which is Cowboy guy wakes up, weird thing on his wrist. What's so much? I don't know what happened. And then aliens attack, and now it's cowboys shooting aliens.
Yeah.
It's really Cowboys and Indians versus aliens at some point.
Cowboys and Aliens, yes.
So Jeff Cannata, big
Hey.
anticipation.
Yeah,
Love you some Iron Man.
I do.
Love you some Harrison Ford.
Love me some Harrison Ford. Love me some Daniel Craig.
Love you some Daniel Craig. Love you some comic books. What did you think of Cowboys and Aliens?
That's true. It is based on a comic book. Although I have never read the comic book.
And the word that I heard, which is totally could be rumor that I'm now continuing to spread on the internet, was that it was actually the rights for this were purchased based on the cover of the
I
comic
heard that
book.
as well.
Yeah, so it may not. I don't know. I didn't read Cowboys and Aliens, so I don't know how.
Produced by Steven Spielberg and Brian Grazer and Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Lots of big names involved in this.
Yeah.
I will say first, as Dan Trachtenberg will be the first to tell you, I am a huge Western fan.
Well, there you go.
Love the Westerns. And this movie, it definitely embraces the fact that it's a Western first,
Yes.
science fiction second.
Correct.
And for the whole, first 20 minutes, I'd say, maybe even longer, half hour, it is a Western, and there's no sci-fi yet. It establishes very firm Western roots, and I think it takes its cues in large part from the Man with No Name trilogy, the Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone classics, and Daniel Craig plays a great Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
He basically, the thing I learned, I was like, you know what? The key to playing a badass hero in a Western is having the same facial expression no matter what's going on.
Yep.
You just never change your facial expression. You're just always
Yep.
happy, sad, that's it.
Yep.
Key.
Birthday cake comes out.
Same
Same days.
Yeah. And he does that really well, and he's awesome and, casts a good figure, he's got a great silhouette of the Western. And it's a really awesome Western at first, and I was like, this is great. He does some really cool stuff.
Yep.
We established these
You're gonna
archetypes.
want to back away from me.
Yeah.
A great
yeah.
moment.
Or just like grabbing some dude and slamming him through the...
Yeah.
Awesome. And we established these archetypes. We established Harrison Ford as the sort of chaotic good, or even maybe bad guy,
Yeah. Chaotic neutral.
Yeah. and I was in it. And then the aliens show up, and almost all of that is thrown out the window.
Yeah.
It becomes, we have a common enemy now, and we lose, I thought, all of the fun
Dynamic.
relationships that we've established. And it just becomes a big action movie, which in one sense, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I really did. And I love the fact that the way the aliens interact with the humans, at least at the beginning, is like roping them.
Yeah.
It's this Western motif even for the aliens. It's like going out and roping steer.
Yeah.
And that's really a cool thing I've never really seen before. But then once we actually get down to the actual figures of the aliens, and we're fighting them one-on-one, or several on several, I was kind of unimpressed with what the aliens were. I felt like you could just replace...
You didn't like the baby arms?
The baby arms were cool. It was kind of like, an homage to the Minnie mouth inside the mouth.
Yeah.
Minnie arms inside your arms.
Yeah.
But I felt like they were kind of interchangeable with any random monster. I mean, it could have been Cowboys versus zombies, or Cowboys versus werewolves, or anything. They were just...
It was aliens.
It happened to be aliens.
Yeah.
But the aliens themselves didn't
No, I know what you
differentiate
mean.
enough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had the same feeling as you, which was, this is a good movie, this is fun, it has sort of all the things, but it never really struck that chord of amazing, awesome, need to see it again kind of movie. And I totally agree. The stuff where there was conflict between the humans was completely thrown out once the aliens appeared, and then it became, who cares about these conflicts? And to be honest, they really painted Harrison Ford as a different character, in my opinion, at the beginning of the Western stuff than they tried to make him out to be as he was going along. By the end, there was no chaotic, I mean, he was like drawing and quartering people. There was, at the beginning, he was the bad guy. There was no good in him. It was...
If that science fiction movie had never interjected in the middle of it,
he would be the
been
bad guy that ends up getting killed by the good guy at the end. And yet, as soon as the aliens showed up, all they were showing you of Harrison Ford's character was the softer side, the good side, the good person. And by the end, it wasn't like a character arc. It was just he used to be bad, now he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And there was no real conflict in that. And so that does sort of, there could have been more character stuff in there than there was. I didn't really care for Olivia Wilde.
Really?
I like Olivia Wilde very much. I thought she was amazing in, I love her on House, been a big fan for years, and I thought she was amazing in Tron as that sort of naive character. I fell in love with her in Tron. And here, she's just sort of a little confusing, doesn't really have a stance. She's sort of the romantic lead, but not really. It's sort of all very odd, and she could have been interchangeable with any other actress, in my opinion. But I really did enjoy some of the science fiction stuff, and Daniel Craig is just a badass.
He is.
I was actually
for sure.
also very disappointed with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he sort of just growls his way through the movie.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Who is this character? And I feel like maybe it's because there wasn't really a character for him to hang his hat on, because at the beginning, when he was playing the badass guy, I was sort of getting into it, but then he just sort of became this lukewarm kind of guy.
There was a cool moment with him and the kid with the knife. I thought that was a cool moment.
It was, but it's a cool moment for a good guy. That wasn't really a bad guy warming up to somebody. That was just a good guy doing a good guy thing.
Yeah.
So it was really kind of confusing.
And he seems to have this complicated relationship with his son, but after that first 20 minutes or whatever of Western movie,
Yeah, he was just a good dad.
The son exits stage left, and we don't see him again until the end.
And at the end, it's just sort of like he's now a good son and
Yeah.
he's a good dad. I mean, it's like, well, what happened?
Exactly.
Not enough happened for you to earn that change.
Yeah.
Love Sam Rockwell. I want him to be in anything that I ever am involved in.
Yeah.
He is freaking hysterical. He brings so many nuances to that role.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of a lackluster role, but there are
agree.
moments. I mean, switching the gun, that doesn't feel good, does it?
Yeah.
You don't like how that feels, does
Yeah.
it? Do you? Amazing. He said the whore. He said, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that
so
was
many
great.
great
Yeah.
moments with him. But I have to say, the character that stole the show, I think he was in Carnival, was the drunk hand at the beginning, where he's all drunk and talking about the.
That stole the show.
I stole the show from me.
It was like
That is the
a minute
thing.
and a half of the movie.
And it's the thing that I walked out of this movie going, God, that guy was so fucking hysterical. Hysterical. Stole the movie for me.
Yeah, I gotta say, I had an enjoyable experience watching this movie.
Yeah.
I had fun, and I think it's
Yes.
a crowd-pleasing, great summer popcorn movie. I just wish it had a little more meat on its bone. I wish the science fiction elements were fleshed out a little more. It's interesting they're there to steal gold, but
That's
why?
kind of the end of
And
it, yeah.
I wish I knew more about them. I
They
wish
were
I
like,
had
yeah,
more
it's
rules.
just as precious on their planet. And it's like, okay, well, that's not, I mean, it's cool-ish, but not,
Yeah. And the sort of big battle moments, it's just a monster. It's not.
Yeah.
Aliens could have been a really specific thing. They could have been very specifically like, we have to fight aliens. And
Yeah.
it was just sort of Cowboys versus a monster.
Well, but also the other thing I was going to say, one of the other things that I had sort of a downside for was, you know, Daniel Craig's
yeah,
weapon.
it's the win button.
It's the win button. That's it. It's just, you guys, they're aliens? I got them. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, what's
And
up?
how he gets that is completely
Yeah.
uninteresting and not
Yes,
clever.
Yes, agreed.
And
Agreed.
if it had been a thing that how he got that, it would
Yeah.
have been much cooler. But
It was sort of like, has anybody seen my key? Oh, the human has my keys.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the keys. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it sounds like, you know, it's maybe not a huge, massive knockout out of the park. You got to go see this best movie of the history of movies. But it's a fun summer popcorn movie.
solid,
Definitely
fun,
worth a
easy,
see.
easy to recommend.
Yeah.
Just don't get your hopes up too much,
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm excited to see how big the explosion is.
It's going to be not as big.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around for this day in rad history. But first, sponsors, Jeff Cannata.
Oh, there's so much to see and do.
So much.
Who has time to shop? Not this guy. I do not care for the shopping. I do not like it. I don't like. I feel it's a way to spend my time.
More
Unless-
money.
Unless.
It's online.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can do that online, you know.
What?
How?
I mean, you could go to many websites and click through and try and find
Boo.
things. But sounds a waste of my time doing that. I'm
Not
not
doing
doing
that.
shopping, right?
I'm not doing that.
There's this other way. that
What's the other way?
You used to always tell me about it.
Are you talking about Jack Threads?
Yes, that's the one.
I subscribe to Jack Threads. I'm a member of Jack Threads. It's members only, dude.
What?
They send you an email every single day, and they have really cool brands. Like, name 3 brands just right at the top of your head.
Kid Robot, Hundreds, American Apparel.
They've got all 3 of those.
No.
All 3 of them, and up to 80% off what you might find in a store.
Wow.
Like a place where you would go?
The bad news is I'm a member, you're not.
This is true.
Members only. But let me ask you this question.
What's the password?
Do you watch the Totally Rad Show?
Do you?
No, I'm on it.
Do you?
I'm on.
You hate that show.
Do you watch it?
Those guys are douchebags.
If anybody watches anybody out there who watches the Totally Rad Show, I've got your hookup. Don't
I
be
watch
like
it.
Dan.
I watch it.
Alex is cool.
Yeah, I'm in.
Really?
If you
What
go-
happened last week?
I can't remember.
If you go to jackthreads.com/TRS, you can become a member of Jack Threads. Boom, right away.
Bam. How much does it cost?
It's free! I was hoping you were
oh
gonna
my
ask
God,
that
I don't
question.
know.
Go to jackthreads.com/TRS and you'll be able to instantly start saving on all these awesome brands by not having to leave your house to shop.
Amazing.
Awesome.
All right, people, we will see you later.
I got my eye on you, Trachtenberg.
I see that.
Tomorrow on the show, we play Media Mashup.
So today is August 1st, and on this day in rad history, back in 1981, MTV premieres at 12:01 a.m. with the words, "Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll," with the image of a man walking on the moon, sent in by DJ Hepcat. Amazing.
Which I think was a play on Moonwalk, wasn't it? Or maybe not? I don't know. Never knew until this moment.
Michael Jackson's
Jackson's
moonwalk?
moonwalk? I don't think so.
No.
Just one.
I think it
just
was-
like a one great step from
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Rock
yeah.
and roll. Here we go.
I never
Yeah.
knew until this moment that it was my birthday that happened. Never knew until this moment.
Really?
Yeah, August 1st. It's funny because I was gonna say I was born in 1981, so I'm as old as MTV.
You're the MTV generation, right there.
Yeah, I am.
You're the reason why Jersey Shore exists.
And it's ironic that it would start with "Ladies and Gentlemen, Rock and Roll," and yet now there's barely any rock and roll on that station.
I
at
know,
all.
that's why they
Well,
have
it's not-
MTV7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In its defense, it's MTV now.
Do
It's
not
using
defend it.
television. But and the first video, as everyone knows, was "Video Killed the Radio Star."
Right.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome.
Very apropos.
Prophetic.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. You and MTV are tied indelibly,
Yeah.
except indelibly.
At
Thank you,
DJ
DJ
Hapcat.
Hapcat.